Welcome to the Virginia gathering of Tina's Wish. I'm Suzanne Roski, chair of the event for this year. A huge thank you to everybody for coming. It's really nice to see so many people here in person after we haven't seen each other in what seems like a long time. And I appreciate everybody, or we appreciate everybody coming to what might be your first in-person fundraising event in a really long time. You know, congrats or hands off to everybody for coming out. Hope this isn't too scary for everybody. We are honored to have, is Judge Hennekins and Mary Ellen still here? I know that the judge had to go home to Saluda for a very important baseball game tonight. He and I are really interested because this is the key game tonight, and I'll also be leaving by 9 o'clock if we're still here. So anybody else watching that? I want to thank all of our generous sponsors. I think the names should be up here behind us. And for those of you who are here representing our sponsors, thanks so much. We are also fortunate to have a very hardworking committee who put this event together, as well as the Tina's Wish staff. Several of them are here with us tonight. This was, as you can imagine, a very hard year to pull this off, and we appreciate everybody's extraordinary efforts to pull this event together and bring us all together in this room. Many of you have attended this event in prior years, some of you each year that we've been together, so you know a little bit about ovarian cancer and the mission that Tina's Wish has. Some of you are with us here for the first time tonight, so you may not know that there is no effective early detection screening for ovarian cancer. And that's what makes it so hard to treat, and that's exactly what makes it the deadliest gynecologic cancer there is. Tina's Wish was founded exactly for that reason, and it's in memory of bankruptcy, the Chief Judge, Tina Brosman from the Southern District of New York. And its one mission was to treat that problem. Now, if you'll look at the screens behind us, we're going to see a short video that addresses the urgency of Tina's Wish mission and the Foundation's vision for the future.
Grace is a mother, a wife, a partner, a sister, a daughter, a friend. Unable to see the storm brewing inside her body. A body beginning to send signals that there's a problem. Symptoms like bloating, upset stomach, frequent urination, and abdominal pain were never taken seriously, so she sought a second opinion, and a third, and a fourth. When the pain was so severe, she was sent to the hospital for extensive evaluations. Evaluations that weren't routine in the countless offices she had visited. She was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. Like so many women, Grace went undiagnosed for far too long. If Grace had been diagnosed in stage 1, when the storm was building, she would have had a 91% chance of surviving. At stage 4, women face a 27% survival rate. It's time to quiet the storm. What if women could be routinely screened for ovarian cancer? What if early ovarian cancer indicators could be found in common pap smear-like tests? Or with using implantable nanosensors, or in new technology yet to be explored? What if early stage detectors could be seen within biomarkers in a simple drop of blood? No more what ifs. With your support, we now fund more than 11 early detection research projects annually, including projects in clinical studies and trials. We are closer than ever to making Tina's Wish come true. The ability to save 150,000 mothers, wives, partners, sisters, daughters, and friends globally just like Grace every year. Together, we do more. No early, no hope. Join us today at tinaswish.org.
Now, as you all know, cancer, like all other deadly diseases, did not stop during the pandemic, and neither did Tina's Wish. And I think Tina's Wish did a really amazing job pivoting almost immediately early in 2020 to keep Tina's Wish, the mission, top of mind. In fact, it began a really neat new initiative called the Virtual Empower Series. And the initiative was meant to extend and spread Tina's Wish awareness and education to in an even broader sense. And it took the mission to women and at-risk and poor communities and brought the information about Tina's Wish to people who might not otherwise have access to the information. And it was through a bunch of webcasts and other virtual means so that women who might not get to doctors and medical clinics would have the same sort of information that we're spreading through events like this. And they rolled out the information almost immediately, and it was a really neat initiative that they brought together in just a matter of months. And the researchers continued their life-changing work throughout the pandemic, despite the challenges that many of us experienced working remotely. And now to our event tonight. I'm excited to announce that this gathering committee has already raised $53,000, which is nearly the same amount. I think this is about the same amounts that we raised in the earlier years when we were working under sort of normal conditions. And this work, this amount, as it always does when we have these gatherings at the other Tina's Wish events, will go directly towards funding this research. I think this is an incredible result, and I want to thank all of you who are here, worked towards this, and donated. And it doesn't stop there. We have another opportunity to continue that success. The Brosman family has challenged all of us with a matching grant, and they will match up to $10,000 of individual gifts that we make during this evening. And I think that the slide behind me will give us some more information about that. And if you believe that all women and families deserve a fighting chance against this disease, then you have an opportunity to show that tonight. And I think there's a whole bunch of information that can show you how to help. You can text Tina to 212-931-0372, or there's a handy QR code that's on the cocktail table spread around the room, and they'll be there all night. And for our virtual guests, you can also participate by scanning that QR code on your screen. I don't really know what that means, where your screen is, but I think all the people who are more tech savvy than me can figure that out. So all the contributions and messages will continue all throughout the evening. And if you're on the fence, maybe if you've already given or you don't give to these things, you can just think about your mothers, your wives, your daughters, your friends, and who are at risk for this disease, and go ahead and just donate, and donate generously. And now we have another film. This is, I hope you'll find it an inspirational film about fashion model and ovarian cancer. Not just survivor in the ovarian cancer community. They say thriver, Ash Fu.
My name is Ash Fu, and I live in Brooklyn, New York. I've lived in New York now for about 7 years, and I moved here when I was 17 from Toronto for modeling. I was just fresh out of high school, and I was gonna go to university, but I kind of wanted to experience what this industry had to offer me. I was actually in a very stressful relationship. I had a lot of internal stress that I was battling, and it really accumulated in a way that I didn't expect. I had bloating. I also had like very intense back pain at night. It never went away. I would say after 2.5 months, I finally went back to Toronto, and as soon as I saw my doctor, all she had to do was touch my stomach and was like, you need an ultrasound, like right now. When I finally saw the oncologist, she was like, okay, we're gonna do another ultrasound. Once she saw the results, she was like, okay, this is what it is. It's dysgerminoma. We need to take it out right now. You're gonna go into surgery on Friday, and it was on Wednesday, mind you. When I got out of surgery, they knew that I had it. So they took out my right ovary, but they saw that I had a tumor in my left ovary as well, but it was like significantly smaller. And because I'm so young, they wanted to save my fertility. So they chose to leave it in there, and they chose to then for me to do chemotherapy. They had hope that it would go well, but in my unfortunate case, it didn't. So I had to have it taken out. From the female perspective, for me as a 25-year-old, not having the choice to have my own children anymore, like that was hard for me to go through. I feel like I'm a very strong believer in having scars tell a certain story about where we've come from and what we've experienced in life. And because this experience that I went through was so important to me, that's what this scar reminds me of. I see it as a symbol of strength and a symbol of just telling myself that if I can go through this, that I can go through anything. No one taught me about ovarian cancer. I didn't know anybody that went through it. I didn't have anyone in my family that went through it, so I didn't know anything about it. I think what Tina's Wish is doing is very important because like Tina herself and like me, we didn't have the information that we needed. If there was early detection and prevention, I feel like women of all shapes and sizes and ages wouldn't have to go through what I went through. I really hope that Tina's Wish can create that for us and for our community and help women in the future.
What a powerful story. Against my better judgment, I'm going to stick to the script and tell you that my name is Lynn Tavener. I'm with the law firm of Tavener & Barron, and my partner Paula and I have been very fortunate to be a part of the Virginia Gathering since its inception. I will tell you that while we are very excited to always be a part of this, we're even more excited to see, while we very much enjoy seeing the old faces, but we're even happier to see new faces that we have not seen before at this event, and I'm very hopeful that means that we will get more and more to be involved in this, this event, so that next year there'll be somebody else up here and not me. But while we're here, we do want to pay tribute to some of the women that we have talked about in the past, who unfortunately have not made it and have died because of this horrible disease. First one up on your screen, actually, but they both are up there. The first is Jeannie Dunn Buffton. She passed away in 2017. She was a college roommate of Paula's and was a wife, mother of two, very avid into sports, and just succumbed way too early to this horrible disease. In addition, you'll see also on the screen, Catherine Rudd Light. She passed away in 2019. Catherine was a beloved wife, and we're honored that her husband, David, is here with us virtually this evening. Thank you so much, David, for being here and sharing the memory of your wife with us. In addition, near and dear to our bankruptcy hearts is we want to say that Catherine also was part of the Bowman Law Firm and the bankruptcy team there. So I think when we do put names and faces to this horrible disease, it strikes even closer to many of us, and it inspires us to work harder. I also would like to recognize some of the survivors that are here with us tonight in the audience. Dorothy Erringer. Dorothy, are you here? Great. Great to see you, Dorothy. Thank you very much for coming. Mary Gill. Hi, Mary. Gail Lewis. Hi, Gail. And Diane Morris. You all are very special and inspirational to us, and we thank you all for being here this evening. In addition, all 4 of these women are affiliated with a wonderful local organization called Cancer Dancer. Cancer Dancer supports women with ovarian cancer through every phase of coping with the disease. They begin by distributing comfort kits and then provide support services to survivors. And you will see over near the registration table, you may have noticed some displays on their comfort kits. For additional information about Cancer Dancer, please pick up some materials from the display. And of course, this evening, we all are here to learn more about ovarian cancer, and we have a great speaker. But before I introduce the speaker, I would like to propose an awareness challenge. As you've learned, the #1 problem with this disease is the lack of early detection. So the most important thing that we can do until we have that early detection test is to spread awareness about the subtle signs and symptoms. And I believe if you look up on the screen, you'll see a slide that goes through those signs and symptoms. In addition, on the cocktail tables around the room, you will notice signs and symptoms, postcards, and pens. So I challenge each and every one of you that are in the room this evening to fill out at least 1 postcard and send it to a woman in your life. Just think of the impact and the difference that that 1 postcard could make. Think of Ash's story and the stories from the countless women who ignored the symptoms because, quite frankly, they just didn't know. And when you're finished filling out your card, put it back in the stand, and the Tina's Wish staff will send them out tomorrow. But please, don't leave without filling out that card. And now I am thrilled to introduce our speaker this evening. We're excited to welcome, it's going to take me a few seconds to say this, gynecologic oncologist, wow, Dr. Leslie Randall. We're excited to welcome you here this evening and to the Richmond community. She recently joined the VCU Massey Cancer Center, and we are so excited to have you here this evening. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's really an honor and a privilege to speak with you tonight. I have to say hello to my friend, Dr. Chip Landon, who you all know, I think, and he's online. And he told me how wonderful Tina's Wish was when I moved to Richmond, and he was right. So hi, Chip. And I have to shout out to my partner who's around here somewhere, Dr. Devin Miller. There she is. You all, gosh, I mean, you're here tonight. You're taking time out of your evening because you think this cause is important. And I can't tell you how important it is. And I love the videos that you had because the reason why is this. You know, I'm a doctor. I do a lot of research. We kind of sit in our bubble. We actually call it our bubble. And I guess it used to be called the ivory tower, but we're in kind of a bubble. And really, cancer is about people, and cancer is about experiences, and cancer patients have lives, and especially women with cancer, because most of our patients are the foundation and the rocks of their families. And really, families get on shaky ground when moms and sisters and wives get cancer. And so what we do, we know, is so important, and we take it so seriously. And, you know, in ovarian cancer, we've made some amazing strides in the last 10 years. We have learned that 25% of ovarian cancer is inherited, and that if you have cancer that runs in your family through a BRCA gene or other genes that cause cancer, that you can be tested for that. And if you haven't had cancer yet, you can be screened for cancer early, or you can even have surgery that prevents you from ever getting cancer. And that's probably the best way for us to make any strides in terms of prevention and early detection, is to find those people who have those genetic mutations and to do the surgeries that they need to prevent them from ever getting cancer. We know that there are huge healthcare disparities among economic situations and racial situations where those who are underprivileged do not get access to those testing and those surgeries. And so we're trying to bridge those disparity gaps so that everyone can have an opportunity to have cancer prevention. for early detection, I have to be honest with you, we have not been very successful in early detection. And it's been something that's eluded us for years and years. We've tried so many things. And many of you in this room have maybe have been subjected to many, several ultrasounds. I mean, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. A transvaginal ultrasound, y'all, that's not pleasant. I don't care who you are, that's not pleasant. And maybe blood testing, CA125 blood testing, that's really kind of all we've had. And it's pretty rudimentary in terms of trying to detect cancer early. It finds things that aren't cancer, everyone gets nervous and freaked out, and it misses cancer. So it's totally, pretty much useless. And honestly, I'm a person who had really poured my efforts and my career into, we're not going to find an early detection. We've just got to get better at treating ovarian cancer. We've just got to get better at treating it. And so that's what I've really done for all of my career. And I have to say, I moved to Richmond in 2020 and met with Tina's Wish, and I met with the board, and I looked at the projects that they're doing, and I looked at the people that you all are funding. I mean, you showed the institutions on the slide, and it's really remarkable. And with the technology that we have today and the projects that these people are working on, y'all, this may actually work. This may actually be possible. And so whereas something that I really thought was not possible, and to the point that I kind of had an attitude about it, my tune, I'm changing my tune because I see that maybe it actually is possible. So here's the difficulty of making it work is that it takes a lot of money to make it work. So the fact that we're here at a fundraiser talking about it is really apropos because we really need money to make this work. And it's something that is not the sexiest thing to fund because there are a lot of people like me who think, this is never going to really work. So your money to fund this effort is hugely important. Because it may not get funded by other avenues. It may not get funded by the usual avenues. The usual avenues may be pouring their money more into the treatment because they have my old perception and perspective. But I think that now with the technology that we have, now is really the time to really pour your money into this effort. And I think that this actually may eventually work, and what a huge thing. So Dr. Miller and I, we love the beach. I mean, we would love nothing more than to be put completely out of business, and then we can just go hang out together at the beach. And so that would just be awesome. I mean, that's our whole goal in life, is to not see cancer and to not see women and families suffer from cancer. So I thank you all so much for coming out. Isn't this fun to be out in public? I just thank you all so much for coming out, and thank you for inviting me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Randall, for coming out, being with us tonight, giving us more information, and inspiring us to dig deeper into our pockets to not only assist with the ovarian cancer, but to help you get to the beach. Please, before you leave, don't forget to go ahead and do the awareness challenge. It's really important. I know there's at least one person special in your life that would really need to hear this. Also, it's not too late to donate towards the Brosman Family Match. We're getting very close to our goal. Currently, we have increased from the numbers that Suzanne shared with you. We now are at $66,000. And while that is an incredible number and is more than any number we have raised since we started doing this here in Virginia, we still have $4,000 to go to get that Brosman Family Match. I know that we can do that this evening. I know we can. So everybody, just dig just a little bit deeper. We can work together, and we can cross that finish line this evening. Now, to do so, remember, Suzanne told us there's a few things we can do. We can text Tina to 212-931-0372, or for the more savvy ones amongst us, just scan that QR code. I will not do that because I'm not sure when I scan that code what happens next. And I might facilitate the $4,000 match, or I might cause my bank account to do something really bad. For our virtual account guests, please, you can scan that QR code as well on your screen. But everyone, whether you're here virtually or in person, we thank you, but we really ask, let's give women the fighting chance they deserve against ovarian cancer. We can do it. We thank you for all that you have already done, for what you've given not only tonight, but in the past, and what you will do in the future. We know that we are a very tight-knit community, and we all come together when people are in need, and this is a real need.